Hi, I'm Christina.
I'm Maya from
Book
Book
and Dreams.
and welcome to a new video. So today we're going to talk about all the books we've read in June.
Yes.
Well, how was your June reading month?
My June was the worst reading month to date. To date, like for the past 2 years, I guess.
Okay.
I read a total of 2 books. If you count one book half DNF'd as read.
Okay. I've read 6 books, but most of that was Ruby Dixon, which was fun.
I just wanted to ask, was it paranormal
romance? It was. See, the thing was, I'm a teacher, and school ends in the middle of June. So the first 2 weeks were fucking hell. I basically was telling her, now I'm grading this test, then this one, then that one, and then whatever. And then translate-a-thon started, and a heat wave came, and I don't have the AC in my house, in my part of the house. So my motivation for reading was very low. I read some, but I could have read so much more. I had so many lofty plans for June, and none of it happened. And I mean, I keep failing on translate-a-thon. I feel so bad. I've been reading the same book for 2 rounds of. I was like, I basically read maybe 20 pages of that book in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, read-a-thon of 2 weeks, and I missed one of the sprints because we had a family lunch for my dad who for his birthday, and the first one I was I was watching, but I wasn't really because I was doing my nails. So yeah. Basically
I totally get it. I constantly I constantly wanna join translate-a-thon. I even tried once, and I just keep failing at just picking up anything, and it's really bad because I love actually that readathon. It's like really cool. It's really cool.
I had 3 books picked, read none of them. Yeah. So
yeah, and I also had lofty plans. I literally have on my phone that we're filming on, like an intro to a vlog.
I have 2 of those.
I have an intro and I have a clip of him walking around the building. That's basically it. I read 20 pages of the first book that I said I would read in this month.
Well, I did manage to do a vlog in June, so I did do that.
0 points.
But then I started 2 more and nothing happened with those because I was like,
no,
I basically did nothing. Yeah. I was waiting for Rick and Morty to start. That's it. And what else was I waiting for? I was waiting for something else. Oh, I was waiting for In the Heights, and I was like, I have it, and I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah.
Let's just start.
All right, so I'll start because
you have a lot more.
I've read 3 paranormal romances by Ruby Dixon, all of them. First one, Barbarian Prize, which is book 6 in the Ice Planet Barbarians, and then Barbarian's Mate, which is book 7 in the Ice Planet Barbarians. Apparently, I'm in the mood, but I'm stopping now because the 7th one was kind of, oh my god. So, in the Barbarian Prize, we follow Tiffany and Saluk. Basically, there's a whole let's practice sex trope because Tiffany had some trauma from being kidnapped and attacked by aliens, and so she's trying to find a way to be more comfortable with sex because the barbarians are very not sex driven, but basically when they find their mates, the point of the mating is to have a child. And she can't really deal with that right now because of the trauma. And so the B plot of this is basically there's it's called Barbarian Prize because her friend, Tiffany's friend, creates this competition because there's more males and females, so there's lots of them vying for attention. And since they have like these symbiotes inside their bodies to help them survive in this harsh environment on this planet, basically when the symbiote reacts, that's when you find your mate. So basically you have to spend time with people to try to do things to make the symbiote react. And so there's like this whole competition of like who will escort them from one cave to another, the moving house basically, and whatever.
So basically Love Island is space.
Sort of, but Tiffany is not an active participant in this.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I want you to leave me alone because she's so traumatized.
Oh, shit.
She wants to spend time with the alien guy, but the alien guy's like, you're my mate. She's like, I'm not ready for that. And there's the conflict a bit in that. But basically the let's practice sex tropes, if this is something that interests you, is that's that. The second one, Barbarian Mate, is the first one that gave me angst. Like literally my heart was in pain.
Why?
Because usually when I read good angsty shit, that's when my heart's like, oh my god, this is so good. So
okay, what happened?
Basically, we follow a character that we saw in the previous book. Sort of mentioned, you know how in paranormal romances usually the characters that are like on the sidelines, you get books and their romances. So we follow Josie, and the guy's name is Hayden. So Josie has this sort of in the sixth book is characterized as a sort of not love to hate. They don't like actively hate each other, but basically there's like animosity between them because the alien guy is very worried about the woman, and she's like, why is he so mean to me? Because he likes you, basically. And in the seventh one, when in the ending of this is spoilers, well, whatever, since they're a book about them, you know, they're mates. Basically, their symbiotes react to each other, and she's like, oh my god, no, I hate you. And when you no, but when they don't respond to the sort of call of their symbiotes, they basically slowly die.
Oh.
And the alien guy went through this once because he had a mate before when he was younger. His symbiote reacted to an older alien. She was like, I fucking don't want to be with you because I'm in love with someone else, and you can do that. Sometimes that happens. And she didn't want to, you know, even talk to him, or you have to have sex and but then the sickness of the thing is coming. She died and whatever. And basically, when your symbiote dies, you have to kill another big creature and find it and whatever. And so basically, the whole book is, and the angst that was like so good, is basically her refusing to even acknowledge this and wanting to slowly die and not to have to do anything. There was a bit of sort of the level of hateness was amped up in the seventh one, and it was a bit sort of jarring because it's like, that's not how you were in the previous book. Why now this animosity and hatred towards this character, and it's like, it ends well after they, you know, remove their heads out of their asses and actually have a conversation, because he's very grumpy and he's like, you know, I'm giving her space, and I'm like, you know, I'm letting you do what you want because I don't want you to feel like bad about this and whatever. But basically both of them almost die, and it was I mean, it was like, okay, I think it's time now for me to stop reading these because it's getting a bit too much. But yeah, I like that how in this series everyone's like, every book explores different kind of trauma and different kind of that, you know, it's like I mean, they have been abducted by aliens and whatnot, so it's kind of unrealistic, but the trauma they're dealing with is very, like, for survivors of sexual abuse and you know, not just, you know, general abuse and everything. It's interesting to see how they are working towards it, and how the aliens are not pushy at all. They are like, okay, let's work through this, let's talk about this, because their whole goal is just to take care of each other. But the problem is that they don't communicate this because they're not mind readers. Nobody's a fucking mind reader, and they're like, well, this is how it is. How do you not know this? Well, I'm a fucking alien. I don't live here. Anyway, I spent a lot of time talking about this. So just talk about the third romance. Yes. It's the one I read twice. It's so good. So basically, it's Shift. Ruby Dixon wrote a bunch of short stories about bear shifters who find their mates and they have sex. And each short story explores different kind of kink. So we have, and then the titles of them are hilarious. So we have Shift Out of Luck, Get Your Shift Together, Shift Just Got Real, Does the Bear Shift in the Woods, and You've Got to Be Shifting Me. And each of them follows a pair. Yes, lots of highlight ones. Follow a pair, and so you have like sort of age gap explored. Then there's like one of them is a virgin, so that's kind of explored. There's like role play. There's like, you know, so many cool things that are explored in each story, and they're fun. One of my favorite things that she's written, and I'm reading the I Spy Barbarian things. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
You should definitely audiobook it. Audiobook it.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. So my first, let's say, half-read book is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. So I buddy read this with Shannon from That's So Po. I will link her channel down below. So this was like my first buddy read ever, and actually quite liked it. I found it very, although I was really bad at actually keeping up with the dates we arranged at like when we were done with each story, because this is a collection of stories. But I loved like the communication and like how we each of us found something different in the stories and noticed something different. So there was a lot of, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that, but she did, or I did. And it was really a really interesting experience. The one thing we both noticed is that it was more like it had some fantastical elements, but it actually verged on literary fiction. So it wasn't that much horror-y or fantastical. I mean, there were elements, but it wasn't really that.
Okay.
Although it is sometimes kind of marketed as that, but it really wasn't. And the problem is, I DNF'd the last two stories. I just couldn't anymore.
How'd Shannon go? Did she read them or?
She DNF'd I think 3 stories.
Ooh.
Yes. Because so.
So okay. You won.
There's no winning in this, realistically. So, anyways, but like, I definitely loved the first story, The Husband Stitch, the most. It had me thinking about so many things because it dealt with a lot of female issues, in the sense that, like, I'll just read you the first, like, it got me so much. At the beginning, Carmen Maria Machado explains how you read these stories out loud. Like, she describes what voices to use.
Okay.
And she says, for herself, one of the adjectives she uses is forgettable. And she says, all other women interchangeable with my own. So, like, this was already very impactful to me, like, in saying that women's voices are often forgettable and are not heard. And there was, like, similar topics. Like, there was a mention of a sexual assault by a teacher, which was kind of just glossed over in the story. And I noticed it, like, immediately. And I felt like this was a comment on how they are often kind of just, oh, it happens, it's not taken as seriously as it should. And, like, there was a lot of other topics. And that one story was absolutely brilliant. It was such a strong start. But, like, the second story, I was, like, just completely lost. I didn't know what was going on. Then the third story was okay. And then there was, like, this one story where she recounts different, like, all of the episodes from Special Victims Unit, Law and Order Special Victims, but in short, like, this is one of the very interesting things. Like, see, you have, like, titles of episodes, and then you have, like, short paragraphs for each episode.
Okay, like and a summary.
Yeah, but there is a storyline
that goes throughout
goes throughout, and I think you have to. I pushed through it because it's actually really long. It, like, has maybe 70 pages, which for, like, a collection.
SVU has been on for a really long time.
But, like, I watched it. So, for example, Shannon couldn't get into it because she didn't watch that. So so she didn't get the reference of, like, the characters, and I did. So I was kind of more into that. But I will definitely link Shannon down below. She, like, speaks more fluently about all of this and the actual topics that are in the book. So that was my one book that I did finish it. I couldn't be bothered by the last two. So,
all right. I'm just gonna quickly mention 2 sci-fi books I read this month. It's first one being Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and the second one being Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells, which is book 6 in the Murderbot series. I do have a vlog when I read those two, so you can check it out. Just to say that the Fugitive Telemetry was kind of, and I absolutely loved Project Hail Mary. It has such a surprising twist and things happening. I mean, if you watch a lot of reviews, it will be spoiled. So I'm not going to. I spoil it a bit in the vlog. But it was so good, and I just enjoyed it a lot. I do enjoy his work, so I wasn't surprised that I liked it, but it was so good. Also, audiobook it. It's better if you audiobook it for specific reasons.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay, what's the second book you read?
The second book I read is Our Throne of Glass. reading
I haven't even
thingy.
started it.
Yeah, and I read Empire of Storms, which is the fifth
Yes.
book in the Throne of Glass series, and I absolutely loved it. It was my the third one was at that point my favorite. This is like now they're at a tie. Because I loved how the storyline progresses. I love everything is like there are hints of romances all over, like amongst a million characters, which is
spoilers.
cool.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, which is really cool. Like a million characters, but like some side characters. Previously, side characters get a much bigger role in this one, and we get to learn more about them, and I absolutely love that. I had a moment where I was listening it on audio, and I was walking through the square, like next to my building, and I was like at one point, yes! And like people were watching and was like probably thinking she's crazy. And like there are so many good moments, and the end, I didn't cry.
Well, I did.
But the end shattered me. Oh my god. Like I thought like we have seen our share of like bloody evil scenes in these books. But God was I wrong. God, I mean like the book felt like a true war. Like war and sacrifice.
Told you it got better.
It was just absolutely just I really liked it.
Okay, good. The last book I want to talk about is the only fantasy book I read this month, and that is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman. Before I start, this is our like book club book. My sister picked it.
I still haven't read it.
I went into reading this with a negative attitude because in my head I don't like Neil Gaiman and I don't like his writing. Even though I enjoyed the Graveyard Book and I enjoyed the
Good Omens.
No, Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Oh, okay.
I didn't enjoy. I mean, I've read American Gods. I liked the first season of the show so much better than the book because nothing happens in it. But whatever. Anyway, I had a negative attitude walking into this, and I was like, I don't want to read this. But I read it, and what I have to say is that basically we follow Charlie and Nancy, and when his father dies, he discovers that he is a god, and he has a brother called Spider, who can talk to spiders, and then Spider gets into his life and fucks everything up.
Yeah.
And then stuff happens from there. Basically, it had its moments. Definitely stuff was happening that basically moved me along and I wanted to read, so it was gripping to a degree. But basically, I had a similar problem with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've read like the humorous parts, and I understood that this was when you're supposed to laugh, but I didn't laugh.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I mean, I thought I enjoyed British humor, but I don't think I enjoyed Neil Gaiman's British humor because it was like, oh, I'm supposed to laugh here because this is funny. It was like, no. And because I mean, I laugh at Pratchett, so it's like, and I didn't laugh at Galaxy because Hitchhiker is supposed to be really funny. I was like, okay, I get it, but no, whatever. Anyway, basically, yeah, I didn't even rate it on Goodreads because I don't know what to fucking rate it because I didn't dislike it. I didn't like it. I was like,
I'm so sorry. By the way, for all of this.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just it was sort of kind of like. I mean, the audiobook was nice, but I mean,
like grasping at straws here.
I really don't know what I'm gonna say on our discussion because I know Kami's gonna be like profound and she's gonna find layers. I was like, I just want this to fucking end so I can say I've read it and then move on because no. Anyway.
Are you reading this on Sunday?
Yes, we're supposed to
I have to read that. Okay, so
that was it. Yes.
Yeah. So this is it. Talk to us down below in the comments.
If you read any of the books.
Yes. Have you read any of the books? What do you think? Would you like to read them? Please like, share, subscribe. Press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos. Important links are down below in the description box.
Oh, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you in our next one.
Bye.